Good morning. We're going to give it a few more minutes and then we'll go ahead and jump in and get started. Good morning. Happy Monday. I'm still going to give it like 2 more minutes before we really get started just to make sure everybody jumps on that wants to jump on. So hang tight. We'll get started in a couple minutes. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and get started. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Bree, and I am the digital marketing coordinator, social media coordinator. I think most of you that are on I have met before, but if not, that's who I am. I've been with Tucker, since 2011, I think, and I've kind of been in a few different departments, but I think this is the one I'm supposed to be in. So I'm very excited to be here. And then today we're going to talk about social media currency, which is a fairly new phrase or a fairly new term, I guess. There isn't a whole lot of information out there on this, I guess, topic. But I'm going to explain it the best I can. And hopefully when I'm done, it kind of makes sense on why it is called social media currency. Okay, real quick, I forgot to mention, if you have a question, everybody is muted right now, I believe. Yeah, everybody is muted right now. So if you have a question, just raise your hand or type it in the questions box, and we will answer those kind of as we go or at the very end. So feel free to ask questions if you have them. Okay, so social currency or social media currency is the information that is shared by people as they go about their daily lives. It creates a sense of community. So to kind of explain that a little bit more, it's basically when you're on Facebook, we're going to relate this obviously right back to Facebook. When you're on Facebook and you're scrolling through your feed and you see a video or an article and you hit that share button and you share it with your circle of people, that helps that brand that you just share their information. It helps their brand's strength. We'll talk about it more as we dive in. So how do you build your social currency? You need to let go of fear and your ego. You need to be yourself. You need to let go of what people think of you or what you think people think of you or think you should be. You need to be different. And the consistency of value-added content. So the more you're consistently posting on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, and it's value-added content, so it's adding value to your circle of people, that helps your social currency. So I know I hear this almost every day that people are like, I just don't want people to think that I'm that salesperson, and I don't want people to think that I'm that person, and I don't want people to think that I'm being silly when I go live. So let go of that. So you need to remove your romantic feelings of Facebook or of social media and just be yourself, because that's what people are going to eventually connect with you on. So you have to think about it. If you go live at 10 a.m. in the morning and you get off there and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I was so silly on there. I messed up like 4 times and I said 100 times. I can guarantee you that once that video ends and those 5 people that were watching at the time or the 10 people that watched the replay later that day will not think about that video when they sign off. So you need to remove that feeling and that fear of what are these people going to think of me, because they are going to let go of that once they sign off and they stop watching your video. They're not going to constantly be thinking about, oh gosh, she was really silly on that video. So remove those feelings and just be yourself. And like I said earlier, the brand strength equals social currency. So currency is a value, obviously. So you need to think of your Facebook as your little virtual store. So your social media currency is the value associated with your online brand identity and personality. You have a certain amount of currency you can spend within your cycle. And the currency basically is your posts, the articles that you're sharing, the graphics that you're sharing, the Happy Monday post or the Motivational Monday post. All of that is currency. And it varies between your personal and your business page. You do have a certain amount of friends, and they will see your posts depending on how often you're interacting with each other regularly. So if you have your very, very best friend that you have known, for 20 years, but you never interact with them on Facebook because you're always texting or you're always calling or you're seeing each other in person, which is great. But if you're not interacting with them on Facebook, if you're not being social with them on Facebook, they're not going to see your post and you're not going to see them. So I know I've heard a couple times that somebody's come to me and said, they're just not posting anymore. I'm not seeing their stuff. I'm like, well, are you commenting on their posts? Are they commenting on yours? Are you liking their stuff? Are they liking yours? And they're like, well, no. I see them regularly, so I'm not really talking to them on Facebook. I'm like, well, you need to, because that's why they're not seeing your posts, and that's why you're not seeing theirs. So they're active. You're just not, Facebook's not pushing that to you because they don't think that you're interacting with each other on Facebook. Okay, so you need to spend your currency wisely. So you need to avoid posting all about real estate. I've heard this probably multiple times a day every day since I've started in this position. People they're like, well, I don't want to be that person that's always posting about real estate. I'm like, well, you can't be that person, because then Facebook will shut those down and not push those out to your people that you are, interacting with. So you want to avoid being that person that every other post that goes up on Facebook says, hey, do you need help buying or selling a home? Let me be your realtor. You don't want that. You want to be, like I mentioned in my previous webinar, you want to kind of be passive aggressive about your marketing and not specifically saying, hey, I'm a realtor, but if you're posting, our blog post from the Tucker website to your Facebook, that's kind of like a passive aggressive way to say, yeah, I'm a realtor, I work for FC Tucker, but you're not coming out and physically saying that to your circle of people. You need to study how much engagement you're getting. And this is I want to preface this by saying, if you're just now starting your business page, or if you're within the first couple months of having your business page active, or if you've really never been active on your personal page, but you're really starting to ramp your engagement and interaction up now, this might not, what I'm getting ready to say might not completely refer back to you yet. It's for those people that have had their business pages for a year, or that have been, active on Facebook for, 5 years. So kind of take what I'm getting ready to say with a grain of salt if you're really just starting to ramp up your online presence. So when you post something, are you getting likes? Are you getting comments? Are you getting shares? And if you're posting quotes or memes or real estate related articles, are you getting interaction? And if you're not, stop posting that, because that's not that is wasted currency. So that's currency, that's money that or virtual currency that you're spending that is not going anywhere. That's not giving you any return on that investment, I guess. And so you stop posting that stuff if you're not getting the interaction that you need. And if you're getting a couple likes, that's not awful, but maybe you need to change what you're posting. So if you're posting a motivational quote, and maybe your circle isn't really big into the inspirational quotes, but they're more into the funny Monday quotes, you can do that. Kind of switch it up a little bit and see if that changes your interaction and helps that. You need to make sure what you're posting is valuable to your circle. So what adds value to everybody's life? Family, kids, recipes. And if you're reposting things, so if you're reposting articles or videos, make sure it adds value. And what's valuable to your circle is going to be different from everybody, because everybody's circle is different. So my circle might be different than Lissa's circle, and my circle might really, 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 really love recipes, and Lissa's circle might really just love pictures of cats. I mean, we don't know what adds value to your circle of people. So, and really what I have found is if I'm posting on my personal page, if I post anything that has to do with Aria, which is my daughter, who will be 3 in July, if I post anything that has to do with her, whether it's something that she said, a photo of her, or maybe a time hop photo of her when she was a baby, if I post anything about her, and I tag my husband, because I always tag him, so it opens up his friends as well that is seeing the post. I'm most likely going to average, I want to say, anywhere between, I'm going to say average of 60 reactions. So likes, loves, laughs, and then no less than 10 comments. And that's on that's my least, I would think. That's on the really low scale of my average. Normally I'm over 100 interactions and sometimes over 50 comments, depending on what, the content is about her. Sometimes I get really good engagement with reposts, depending on what it is. So you'll see, if you're friends with me on Facebook, I'm pretty active on my personal page during at all times, just because I'm testing things for our Tucker page. So I want to see obviously what I'm teaching and what I'm, preaching to you guys about creating this interaction and creating this engagement. I need to do it too. So I'm constantly testing stuff. So I just tagged my husband in something this morning. It was from a mother blog, a motherly blog. And I will probably get pretty good engagement interaction on that as well. Whether or not it's 5 or 10 likes or maybe a share or two from that, I usually get pretty good engagement from what I post. But that's because I'm also, after work, I'm constantly on social media. So that helps as well too. We're going to continue with the spin wisely. So when you're on Facebook, you don't want to be a lurker, like I like to call that. I mean, you want to scroll through your feed, but you want to interact with your circle. So you don't want to just be somebody that's just watching behind the scenes. You want to get in there and you want to engage and you want to interact and you want to be social on social media. That is the whole point of Facebook. Facebook is centered around engagement, and if you are not engaging on social media on Facebook, Facebook will not push your posts to your friends and family. They just won't do it. So don't just make noise. Like, you don't want to just get on Facebook and post 4 times a day every single day, because if it's not adding value and it's not relevant, it's not going to get you anywhere. It's wasted currency, it's wasted posts, and you don't want to do that. You want to get on there and you want to add value to your circle and you want to be relevant. And if you're checking in somewhere, add a photo. And then you want to elicit impressions and feedback. So you want to kind of force people really to be engaged with your post. So you can do it in, a passive-aggressive way. And I tested this one day, and I didn't get as great of interaction as I thought I would get, but I still got, 20 or 30 comments on it. But if you're posting, you want to post on your personal and business if you have both. And if you have a business, you have a personal page. So just simple questions to force people to engage with you. A question like, if you could move to any city in the U.S., where would it be? That is an easy way to get engagement. Or I did one where on our Tucker page where I said, if you had any amount of money to remodel something in or outside your home, what room would it be? And we got pretty good engagement with that as well. So, it doesn't have to be a crazy forced question. It can be as simple as, where would you move if you could move anywhere in the U.S.? So I'm going to actually give you a little bit of homework on that. So I encourage all of you on your personal page to portray a question of some sort on your personal page, whether it be, if you could remodel if money was no object, if you could remodel any place any room in your home, what would it be and why? Or if you could move to any city in the U.S., where would it be and why? So, or make up your own question. But I want to challenge all of you to do that today or tomorrow. Screenshot it. Give it 24 hours to try to get engagement, and then screenshot that and email me, just so we can kind of test it and see how that helps your engagement. Like I said, everybody's going to be different. And if you're just now starting to be engaged with Facebook, your results might not be as great as you want them to be, but that's okay. So I challenge everybody to do that. Email me, let me see the screenshots, and then we can kind of work from there. If you got great engagement, or if you didn't, we can kind of work from that. So I'm curious to see everybody's results on that. And then when you're regularly interacting with your circle on Facebook, you will show up on their feeds more often, and vice versa. So if you, like I said, your best friend that you've known for 20 years, if you're not interacting and engaging with her or him on Facebook and you're not seeing their stuff, that's why. So start doing that. Start scrolling through your feed, or I'm in several mom groups, like Indie Moms, or I live in Whitestown, so I have a Whitestown Moms group. I'm in a Zionsville Moms group, and I'm in a couple photography groups as well. So when I'm scrolling through my feed, if something pops up that I'm like, ooh, I can respond to that, or I can add some value to that post, I do it. And, and like I said, you need to remove that romantic feelings, because you're going to be commenting on something that they're wanting feedback on, or they're wanting engagement on, and they're not going to think you're crazy for commenting. They want that. That's the sole reason that people are posting in these groups, is because they want feedback and they want help with whatever they're posting about, or they want encouragement, or they want, compliments or whatever. So do that. That's what Facebook is there to do. Okay, so this is our last slide. So how, and this is another little homework, I guess you could call it. So how do you develop your social media currency? So how do you develop your online personality and your online identity? So what 5 words best describe you? So you can engage the help of your friends, family, circle of influence. And then from gathering these lists, you should be able to come up with your brand personality based on just 5 words. It's pretty, I say it's easy to do, but I know it's stepping outside of your comfort zone. But I mean, you can post that on Facebook this week. If you usually get pretty good engagement on your personal page, ask your followers, what 5 words would you best describe me? And do that and see what happens. And then if you do that, let me know, screenshot it and send it to me so I can see that you guys are actually, what I'm saying is working, which I think it will. So that was a pretty short webinar this morning, but I think it was a lot of information. So if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand or comment in the questions box. And I'll give it a few minutes to see if anybody has any questions. Like I said, it was a fairly new term, and there isn't a whole lot of information out there, but I think it makes sense as to why they call it social media currency. Okay. If you don't have any questions, that is great. You know where to find me if you do later on today. If you get started with my homework and then you have questions, feel free to email me. You can Facebook me if you want to do that. Either way, I will respond. But if you don't have any questions, I think that's all I have for you today. Our next session is in May, and it's maximizing your social media engagement. So that is a very, very important one to attend. If you've attended my other 2, this one will be really, really good. And it'll probably be a little bit longer than my last 2 as well, because there will be a lot of information to cover in that. I think next month, though, you have ethics. Yeah, I think we have some sort of, I don't know if it's social media ethics, but it's with MyBoard, so that'll be in April. That'll be in person, though. That won't be a webinar. Okay, I think that's all I have for you guys. So thanks so much for joining me on Monday morning. I hope the rest of your day goes great, and we'll talk to you later.